In the heart of Portsmouth, England, on a cold February day in 1812, a boy named Charles was born into the Dickens family. Little did they know, their son would grow to become one of the most celebrated novelists of the Victorian era, his name etched in literary history, Charles Dickens. Charles's early years were marked by the shadow of financial instability. His father, fond of living beyond their means, was confined to a debtor's prison. At the tender age of 12, Charles's schooling was cut short, and he was sent to work in a blacking factory. The toil was grueling, the environment bleak, and the experience would haunt him for the rest of his life. Yet, within this adversity, the flames of creativity were kindled. Charles returned to school at 13, but his formal education concluded at 15. He ventured into the world, his pen poised to battle the injustices he had witnessed. As a young reporter, he captured the pulse of English life, and soon, his sketches under the pseudonym Boz garnered attention. The year 1836 was a turning point. The serialization of the Pickwick Papers catapulted him to fame. His vivid characters and biting social commentary resonated with readers from all walks of life. Works like Oliver Twist and The Old Curiosity Shop followed, each installment eagerly awaited by a public enthralled by his storytelling prowess. Dickens's life was a tapestry of light and shadow. His novels, brimming with pathos and humor, reflected the splendor and squalor of Victorian England. He became a champion of the downtrodden, a voice for the voiceless. From the depths of his own hardship, he spun stories that illuminated the human condition, tales like David Copperfield and Great Expectations that mirrored his own struggles and triumphs. As he grew older, Dickens took to the stage, his public readings becoming events of great acclaim. Yet, even as his health waned, his spirit remained indomitable. He continued to write, to critique, to dream, until his final days at Gad's Hill in 1870. Charles Dickens's legacy is a chronicle of a man who transcended his time, a writer whose words continue to echo through the ages, reminding us of the power of literature to ignite change and touch hearts. And so, the boy from Portsmouth, who once labeled bottles in a factory, became a literary giant, his life a story as remarkable as those he penned. Etched, permanently fixed or ingrained. Example, his name was etched in literary history. Fond of, having a liking or affection for. Example, his father, fond of living beyond their means. Confine, to keep or restrict someone or something within certain limits. Example, his father was confined to a debtor's prison. Tender, young, gentle, or delicate. Example, at the tender age of 12, Charles's schooling was cut short. Blacking factory, a workplace where shoe polish was manufactured. Example, he was sent to work in a blacking factory. Toil, hard and continuous work, exhausting labor or effort. Example, the toil was grueling, the environment bleak. Gruel, a thin liquid food of oatmeal or other meal boiled in milk or water. Example, the gruel was his only sustenance during long working hours. Bleak, lacking in warmth, life, or kindliness, grim. Example, the environment was bleak, and the experience would haunt him. Adversity, difficulties, or misfortune. Example: within this adversity, the flames of creativity were kindled. Kindled, to start a fire, to stir up or inspire. Example: the flames of creativity were kindled within him. Conclude, to bring to an end, finish, terminate. Example: his formal education concluded at 15. Ventured, to proceed especially in the face of danger. Example: he ventured into the world, his pen poised to battle injustices. Poise, composed, dignified, and self-assured manner. Example: his pen poised to battle the injustices he had witnessed. Pseudonym, a fictitious name used by an author to conceal his or her identity, pen name. Example: his sketches under the pseudonym Boz garnered attention. Garner, to gather or collect something, especially information or approval. Example: his sketches garnered attention. Turning point, the point at which a very significant change occurs. Example: the year 1836 was a turning point. The serialization of the Pickwick Papers catapulted him to fame. Catapulted, to throw or launch something in a specified direction with or as if with a catapult. Example: the serialization of the Pickwick Papers catapulted him to fame. Vivid, producing powerful feelings or strong, clear images in the mind. Example: his vivid characters and biting social commentary resonated with readers. Resonate, to evoke or suggest images, memories, and emotions. Example: his vivid characters resonated with readers from all walks of life. Walks of life, various statuses and occupations within society. Example: his characters resonated with readers from all walks of life. Enthralled, to capture the fascinated attention of. Example: each installment eagerly awaited by a public enthralled by his storytelling prowess. Prowess, skill or expertise in a particular activity or field. Example: a public enthralled by his storytelling prowess. Tapestry, something that is complex or intricate as if woven. Example: Dickens's life was a tapestry of light and shadow. Brimming, fill or be full to the point of overflowing. Example: his novels, brimming with pathos and humor. Pathos, a quality that evokes pity or sadness. Example: his novels, brimming with pathos and humor. Splendor, magnificent and splendid appearance, grandeur. Example: reflected the splendor and squalor of Victorian England. Squalor, a state of being extremely dirty and unpleasant, especially as a result of poverty or neglect. Example: reflected the splendor and squalor of Victorian England. Downtrodden, oppressed or treated badly by people in power. Example: he became a champion of the downtrodden. Acclaim, praise enthusiastically and publicly. Example: his public readings becoming events of great acclaim. Waned, to decrease in size, extent, or degree. Example: even as his health waned, his spirit remained indomitable. Indomitable, impossible to subdue or defeat. Example, even as his health waned, his spirit remained indomitable. Critique, a detailed analysis and assessment of something. Example, he continued to write, to critique, to dream. Chronicle, a factual written account of important or historical events in the order of their occurrence. Example, Charles Dickens's legacy is a chronicle of a man who transcended his time. Transcended, to go beyond the range or limits of something. Example, a man who transcended his time. Ignite, to catch fire or cause to catch fire, to arouse or inflame. Example, reminding us of the power of literature to ignite change.